The grand lawns of Windsor shimmered beneath the golden afternoon sun as guests from across Britain arrived for one of the year's most anticipated royal engagements. Elegant hats, polished uniforms, and the familiar sound of military bands created a picture of perfect tradition. Television cameras lined every pathway, eager to capture every royal arrival. For the thousands gathered outside the castle gates, it seemed destined to be another flawless day for the monarchy. But within minutes, whispers began to spread. Something unexpected had happened. As Princess Catherine stepped gracefully from her car alongside Prince William, photographers immediately noticed an unusual moment. Standing only a few yards away was Queen Camilla, greeting arriving members of the royal family one by one. The cameras focused. The crowd held its breath. Instead of walking directly toward Camilla, Catherine paused for the briefest moment before turning towards several charity volunteers waiting nearby. Smiling warmly, she spent several minutes speaking with them, shaking hands, and thanking them for their years of service. Meanwhile, William exchanged polite greetings with officials before joining Catherine. Within seconds, social media exploded. Did she just avoid Camilla? Was that deliberate? Something feels different. By the time the ceremony officially began, millions of viewers were replaying the footage frame by frame. Was it simply a scheduling adjustment? Or was there more beneath the surface? Inside Windsor, senior palace staff remained composed, carefully guiding guests toward the historic chapel where the day's commemorative event would take place. Every royal appearance follows an intricate schedule planned weeks in advance. Timings are calculated down to the minute, leaving very little room for improvisation. Yet experienced royal watchers noticed subtle deviations. Catherine appeared unusually focused. William seemed especially attentive to her throughout the event. Camilla maintained her smile, greeting guests with practiced confidence. To casual observers, everything appeared perfectly normal. But those who have spent years studying royal body language began offering dramatically different interpretations. One commentator suggested Catherine looked determined. Another argued the princess simply appeared concentrated on her responsibilities. Others urged caution, reminding audiences that brief public moments rarely reveal private relationships. Still, speculation continued growing. As the ceremony progressed, the atmosphere inside Windsor remained dignified. Veterans received heartfelt recognition. Young volunteers proudly represented their communities. Choir performances echoed through the ancient stone walls. It was precisely the kind of event that highlighted service above personalities. Yet outside the castle, headlines were already racing ahead of the facts. Cold reception? Royal rift returns? Windsor snub? None of these claims had been confirmed. Nevertheless, public curiosity reached extraordinary levels. Later that afternoon, guests attended a reception in one of Windsor's magnificent staterooms. Here, royal protocol became even more noticeable. Every conversation, every smile, every photograph, each carried symbolic weight. Several attendees later remarked that Catherine spent considerable time speaking with healthcare workers and youth ambassadors, subjects that have long formed the cornerstone of her public work. William likewise devoted much of the reception to veterans organizations. Camilla focused on literary charities and community volunteers. Their responsibilities naturally kept each occupied with different groups throughout the event. Yet because of the earlier moment outside, every movement became the subject of intense speculation. One guest quietly remarked that the atmosphere among palace staff remained entirely professional. There was no obvious tension, the guest reportedly observed. Everyone simply carried on with their duties. That observation, however, received far less attention than the countless online theories. As evening approached, television panels dedicated entire segments to analyzing the footage. Experts emphasized how easily ordinary scheduling decisions can appear dramatic when viewed through selective camera angles. Others argued that public fascination with the royal family often leads viewers to search for hidden meanings where none can be confirmed. Still, one persistent question refused to disappear. Why hadn't the two women been photographed greeting one another? The palace offered no explanation, nor did it appear obligated to. Royal engagements frequently involve multiple arrivals, changing schedules, security considerations, and carefully managed movements that aren't visible to television audiences. Yet silence often creates its own narrative. Across Britain, newspapers debated every possibility. Some suggested timing. Others suggested logistics. A few tabloids hinted at deeper disagreements, but provided no evidence. Meanwhile, supporters of both women defended them passionately online. Many praised Catherine's unwavering focus on charitable work, arguing that her interactions with volunteers deserved greater attention than any perceived personal dynamic. Others highlighted Camilla's years of public service and cautioned against drawing sweeping conclusions from a few seconds of footage. Lost amid the debate were the very people the event had been organized to honor. Veterans, volunteers, community leaders. Their remarkable contributions briefly took a backseat to questions surrounding royal etiquette. Inside Kensington Palace, aides reportedly continued preparing Catherine's schedule for the following week's engagements. Her calendar remained full. Children's initiatives, early childhood development programs, meetings with medical professionals, environmental projects alongside Prince William. Nothing publicly suggested any change in royal priorities. At Clarence House, Camilla's own commitments continued uninterrupted. Reading programs, domestic violence awareness initiatives, literary celebrations, community visits. Both women appeared set to carry on exactly as planned. Yet the public remained captivated. The image from Windsor continued circulating around the world. Some viewers insisted they had witnessed a deliberate statement. Others saw nothing unusual whatsoever. In reality, the available footage revealed only a brief sequence of public movements, far less than many online discussions claimed. Even so, the mystery endured. The following morning, breakfast television revisited the story. Newspaper front pages displayed enlarged photographs from multiple angles. Professional lip readers declined to speculate, noting there was insufficient evidence to determine any private exchanges. Former palace staff reminded audiences that royal events are governed by extensive planning and protocol, making apparent deviations difficult to interpret without inside knowledge. Their caution, however, competed with more sensational narratives that spread rapidly across social media. As debate intensified, one veteran correspondent summarized the situation with measured restraint. Sometimes, the commentator observed, the biggest royal stories are created not by what is said, but by what people believe they have seen. Those words resonated with many viewers. Had the cameras captured a meaningful moment? Or had millions projected a dramatic story onto an ordinary sequence of events? Only those present knew for certain. And they weren't talking. The unanswered questions only deepened public curiosity, ensuring that Windsor's seemingly routine engagement would remain one of the most discussed royal appearances of the season. In the days that followed, the palace never issued a statement addressing the speculation, allowing the Windsor appearance to fade into the broader rhythm of royal duties. Catherine and Camilla each continued their public engagements, with no verified evidence emerging to confirm the rumors that had dominated headlines. Yet the moment remained a reminder of how a few seconds of footage can spark countless interpretations. Whether it was simply timing, protocol, or something more known only to those present, the unanswered questions kept royal watchers talking, proving once again that, in this fictional scenario, sometimes the greatest drama lies in what remains unsaid.